Good day, coders, and welcome to another brand new week where we'll be creating more games on Scratch. In today's lesson, we are going to create a game in which you have to guide a parrot past scrolling pipes to score points. To do this, you're going to have to click the green flag to start the game, press the space bar to make the parrot flap its wings, and try to get it through the gaps in the pipes. You score 1 point for every pipe that you manage to get the parrot past. So this will be a Flappy Bird game. What you will learn is how to create sprites using vector mode, how to use sounds, how to detect collisions, and how to control a sprite using the keyboard. So let's get straight to it. So we have our Scratch desktop open. So the first thing we need to do is to add the pipes. So the first thing is creating the pipes. So we're going to add a backdrop with an outdoor landscape. So try blue sky. So let's get a backdrop and get blue sky. Let's make sure to delete our sprite 1, which is the cat. Then we're going to create a new sprite and name it pipes. So a new sprite, we use the paint, and it's going to be called pipes. Pipes. Now, the pipe sprite should be a pair of pipes with a gap in the middle. By moving the sprite up or down, you can put the gap in different places. What we're going to do now is draw in those pipes, and it should be in the color green. So in order to do that, we're going to use the rectangle tool. Make sure we use the green full. Make sure saturation is on 100 and brightness is on 100. And we are going to draw in the pipes like this. We can increase them, make them thicker. Then we're going to duplicate this pipe so that it becomes at the bottom as well. So we use the select tool, we click on, we say copy, and then we say paste, and we get it one at the bottom as well. There we go. So we have our pipes. We can make this a bit bigger. There we go. All right. You can't draw a sprite as big as the pipes need to be, but you can increase the size at which the sprite shows on the stage. So we're going to add a code to make the sprite bigger. So we go to code, we go to events, when green flag clicked, go to looks, set size to 200. 200. This makes it easier to see how big the pipes should be. So we draw a rectangle for the top pipe as shown here on our screen. Then fill the pipe with the color you like. I chose green. Create a duplicate of the pipe by selecting it and then click on copy and paste, which I've done in the video right here. Drag the copy of the pipe to the bottom of the screen so that the copy is in line with the other pipe, as I've done on my screen as well. The next thing we need to do is to make our pipes better. So can you make your pipes look better? Shade your pipes with the left to right gradient. So in costumes, you can check on left to right gradients. This will be in the fill, and you can use these. These are gradients. You can use something like this. Swap it with another color. Once you've done that, you can color the pipes whatever color you want. Make it interesting. Add extra rectangles to the ends of the pipes. So we can do something like this. And say, click on the select tool, copy and paste, and do the same right here at the bottom. As you can see, we have done our pipes, but now they are too skinny, or in this case the gap is too skinny, so we need to select the first one, or the top pipe, move it up, and bring the second pipe and bring it down so that our gap is a bit bigger, in this case like this. Okay, now we're going to make the pipes move. So next you're going to make the pipes move across the screen to create an obstacle course. So before we do that, let's just make sure that our pipes are even. So in order to do that, you select and make sure to make the pipes skinnier. Do the same with the other one, like this and like this. Okay, you can bring it a little bit closer. Okay, we have our pipes. There we go. So now we're going to code it. So the first thing is to make the pipes appear by adding code to the pipe sprite so that when the green flag is clicked, the sprite forever creates a clone of itself every 2 seconds. So in the codes tab, we're going to have the hide. Scroll down and get hide. Then go to control, drag out the forever loop, create clone of myself, and wait 2 seconds. So clones are just a copy of a sprite, and they are really useful for creating games. So you can click the green flag. There we go. So now we're going to make the pipes move by adding code so that when the clone starts, the clone appears on the right side of the stage and glides across to the left. So you go to when I start as a clone, I should show myself and then go to X and Y value, drag in, go to X. X will be 240 and Y will be 0. Glide 1 second to X and Y value. It will glide for 4 seconds, minus 240 for the X value, and Y value is 0. Then it should delete the clone. Delete this clone. You can stop the pipe scrolling by clicking the red stop button next to the green flag, which is right over here. So let's test it out and see if, there we go. Every 2 seconds, a new pipe comes through. Now you should have lots of pipes, but the gaps are always in the same place. You can add some variety by using a random number for the pipe sprite's Y position. So to modify your sprite's code so that each sprite clone picks a random number from minus 80 to 80 and glides to that Y position. So all we need to do is drag in the operators block, which is the pick random block, pick between 80 minus 80 and 280. Then we have the glide 4 seconds to X value, which is minus 240, and it should be the Y position like this. So now you can test it out and see if the they come in different areas. There we go. So not bad at all. Next thing we need to do is make Flappy fall. So this, we're going to add a sprite called Flappy and create code to it so Flappy falls down the stage. In the next step, you'll add the code to make Flappy fly when you press a key. So let's add a new sprite that has two costumes for wings up and wings down and name it Flappy. The parrot sprite is a good choice. Alright, so we go to choose a sprite. Look for parrot by going into the search bar. Type in there parrot. Alright. And go to costumes. As you can see, parrot has two costumes. So we need parrot A to be wings up and parrot B to be wings down. Down. Flappy needs to be small. As you guys can see, its size is 100. So we need to add a code to set Flappy's size to 25% when the green flag is clicked. So we go to code, go to events, when green flag clicked, go to looks, set size to 25%. When the game starts, Flappy needs to be just left of the center of the stage at coordinates -50 and 0. So we're going to add a code to make Flappy go to the X and Y starting position of X, which is -50, and Y, which is 0. So in motion block, go to X, -50, Y, 0. Now make Flappy keep falling down the stage by forever changing the sprite's Y position by -3. So go to control, drag in the forever loop. We go to motion, change Y by -3. So test your code to make sure Flappy starts in the middle of the screen and falls to the bottom. When you drag Flappy to the top of the stage, the sprite should fall again. So green flag, there we go. There, you see? Flappy is actually falling down. Alright. Now the next step is make Flappy fly. Now you will make Flappy fly upwards when you press the space bar. When you play the game, you have to time your taps to get Flappy through the gaps in the pipes. So to make Flappy fly upwards when you tap the space bar. So when the space key is pressed, so when it's an event, when space key is pressed, Flappy should move upwards by changing its Y coordinates by a small amount, for example 6. Flappy flies upwards by repeating this movement 10 times. So this is the code. We go to control, repeat 10, motion, change Y by 6. Now you need to get Flappy's wings flapping. So we've already done change the costumes names to wings up and wings down. Can you make Flappy's costume change to wings down when you press the space key and then change it back to wings up halfway through the upward movement? You need to split the upward motion in half so that you can use 2 repeat blocks to change Flappy's costume at the beginning and in the middle of the movement. So add switch costume 2 blocks to change how Flappy looks. So in this case, it'll be when space key is pressed, go to looks, switch costume to wings. Alright, so we need to switch costume to wings down. Repeat 5 times, change Y by 6. Then switch costume to wings up. Repeat 5 times and change Y by 6. So test your code. As you see, at the moment nothing happens if you let Flappy hit a pipe. So we click the green flag. There we go. So nothing happens when Flappy hits the pipe. So now we need another step, which is to detect collisions. To make the game a challenge, the player needs to guide Flappy through the gaps without letting the parrot touch the pipes or the edges of the stage. You need to add some blocks to detect when Flappy hits something. This is called collision detection. So we need to import a sound from the library that you want to play when Flappy collides with something. The screech sound is a good choice. So we go to sounds. As you can see, we have bird. So we click on the speaker icon to get a sound. Type in there screech and make sure it's right over here. Now, a wait until block is necessary to check whether Flappy is touching the pipes or touching the edge. Add a new when green flag click block to the Flappy sprite and also add the following code. So, a new when green flag click code, wait until, which is in control, wait until operators, and take out the or, go to sensing, touching pipes, or touching edge. Start the sound of screech. Start sound screech. Test your code. If Flappy touches a pipe, the screech sound should play. So green flag. There we go. Next, update the code so that the game stops when Flappy hits the pipe. So we go to looks, say game over, go to events, broadcast a message called game over, and stop all sprites, which is in the control loop. Stop other scripts in sprite. Stop other scripts in sprite. The broadcast block tells other sprites that the game is over. The stop block stops other Flappy scripts that are running so that Flappy stops falling after a collision. Finally, add the following code to the pipes sprite so that pipes stop appearing when the sprite receives game over. So we click on pipes, we go to events. When I receive game over, it should stop other scripts in sprite. Now test your game and see how long you can play before it's game over. So we test it out. There we go, game over. Now we need to add a score. The player should score a point every time Flappy makes it through a gap between pipes. So we're going to make a variable for all sprites and call it score. So we go to variables, make a variable, and call it score for all sprites. Each pipe's sprite clone should wait until Flappy has flown past and then increase the score. So, firstly, we're going to set score. We drag it here on top of the set size, set score to 0. Then add the following code to the pipe sprite. When I start as a clone, which is in the control loop, when I start as a clone, wait until. Now add more code so that when Flappy's X position is greater than the pipe's cloned X position, the score increases by 1 and a sound of your choice plays. You could use the pop sound if you want, or add a sound from the library, for example, bird. So to do this, we're going to drag in from operators greater than 50, go to sensing, and look for the code for backdrop of stage. So this will be the first one right here. So we're going to use the X position. X position. We get that in motion. X position. Of Flappy. Of the parrot, basically. There we go. It has changed. Wait until X position of parrot is in X position. There we go. Then change the score by 1 and start sound of pop. Test your game and make sure you score a point every time Flappy gets through a gap between the pipes. Check whether the score is set to 0 when you start a new game. So as you can see, we've got score right here. So we click. All right. I'm going to try to get a point. There we go. There. I got a point. So now, change the difficulty of the game. Is the game too hard or too easy for you? How many ways can you find to change the difficulty? Adjust the game until you are happy with its difficulty. So you guys can check the pipes. You can click on the pipes. Make sure that you're showing them on your screen. So you can click on looks and say show. You go to costumes and just adjust everything on your game. Maybe the gaps are too big or the pipes are too big and you want to make it smaller. And there you have it, guys. The game of Flappy Parrot. Okay, so thank you for your time. Please visit us at www.pingacademy.co.za, where we incubate innovation in young kids such as yourself. Goodbye.